This is Scott with Ride It Wrench It, and today we're going to show you how to put a Viking saddlebags on a Harley Softail Deluxe. The same principle and process is going to apply to all of the Softail family of Harley Davidsons. Alright, in this install we're going to put a pair of quick release plates on the back of the saddlebags. This will allow us the ease of taking them off for maintenance and for, well, just cleaning purposes as well. The current bags that were on the bike, we took them off already, were hard mounted. So it really got hard to get behind that wheel when you need to do anything to the bike behind those saddlebags. All right, so the first thing we got to do is we got installed the mounts onto the fender of the Softail Deluxe. This will allow you to hang the bags off of it. It's grooved or notched in here, and that notch will end up fitting inside of the releasable mount to be able to take it off of the bike. All right, so as you can see in the kit, you've got a variety of different components here. These bolts are for mounting the saddlebag onto the quick release system. You've got different spacers. They're different depths, because when you dry fit this on, you're going to have to make sure that when the bag hangs, it hangs out from the rear swing arm. You've got different size bolts to accommodate different depths of spacers for when you mount the spacers, if you even need them, underneath the saddlebag mounts themselves. Okay, when you get the quick release bracket, the flat part goes on the outside. That's what you're going to mount your bag to. There's an angle. The angle goes towards the front of the bike. Now with the actual mount that goes on the fender, what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to dry fit the mount on first, and then at least one of them, and you're going to want to slide this on it, because what we're going to do is we're going to look for clearance once it's on, so the plane of this flat portion where the bag is going to mount will clear your swing arm and your drive belt deflector. Okay, so we're going to put our bolt through the mount, and then we're going to just tighten it up so we can check for the correct distance for the outside of the saddlebag. Okay, once you get the mount on, we're going to go ahead and dry fit the bracket, and then we're going to look down the plane here, and I can see right now that I'm going to need a spacer, because the saddlebag is going to hit. It's going to hit this bolt or this nut, and it's also going to hit the swing arm. Okay, so I put one of the wide spacers in. Keep in mind when these bags, when they're manufactured, they're not manufactured just for Harleys. They're manufactured for multiple fit. So that's why they include all these different lengths of bolts and spacers, is because they need to be able to fit all bikes, makes, and manufacturers. I went ahead and put the second one on because I just want to make sure when this is on here that we're going to have the clearance that we need for the saddlebag. The mounts on the bracket are adjustable to be able to fit any make and manufacturer bike. So we're going to move those inwards in this case, and we're going to slide that bracket on. Okay, I'm going to just take a straight edge and I'm going to put it up against here to simulate the bag. And right now I have, hopefully you can see it in the video, just no clearance. It's right on the swing arm. So if Margaret's to put any weight in that bag, it's going to push up against it like the old one did and scratch and rub the paint off. So we're going to have to put another spacer in. All right, so we put another one in there, a thin one, and we're going to do the same on the front. We're going to try it again. Now there's a reason why we're doing the left side of the bike, the side with the belt guard, is because it's the one that has to come out furthest from the fender. So once we get the right spacing on this side, we're going to want to space the other side the same, so that when you look at the bike from the back, you don't have one side saddlebag sticking out further from the fender than the other side. Okay, so we got those on. We're going to put the quick release bracket on again, and then we're going to get a straight edge and put it up against there, simulating the side of the saddlebag. And now we do have space. Okay, so we got the camera closer so you can see the spacing. There's not a lot, but it's definitely going to be enough so that we'll have the clearance on the saddlebag from the swing arm. The other thing I want to talk about here is, once again, these mounts are made for multiple makes, models, and brands of bikes. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to reach up under the fender, and you're going to want to feel where that bolt comes out on the inside of your fender. Mine, I can feel the bolt, so that if she was to hit a bump real hard and bottom out, her tire would hit that bolt and it could shred that tire. So in our application, we're going to have to cut these bolts shorter because they're too long. So we've cut our bolt. We're going to go ahead and put our docking post on now. So we're going to put our docking post on with the thin side out, because that's where the bracket's going to go. And we're going to put our spacers on. And then I'm going to use a drop of blue Loctite on mine, because there is no nut on the back side. And then we're going to thread that in. I'm going to straighten out my spacers so they look right. I'm just going to push everything down. It's a little bit loose before I tighten it up totally. Get my hand out of the way there. All right, so then we tighten it. Now, again, you're going to want to go up in there with your fingers. It's kind of tight. There we go. And you're going to want to feel, make sure that bolt doesn't come out, so that if when your suspension activates, the bolt doesn't scrape your tire, and that doesn't. So that's in good shape. Now we can do the same with the rear one. All right, so we're putting the rear docking post on, and you know, if you don't want to cut your bolts like I did, you can just go purchase some shorter ones. Because the ones they give you are, well, they give you two sizes. Just the shortest one just didn't happen to work for our application. All right, so at this point, our docking posts are on. Okay, before we get started marking the mounting position of the bags, these do come with multiple applications. One is a throwover application, which we're not going to use. But if you have a bike where you can use that, then go for it. To take that off, there's some screws on the inside here, and that will allow you to remove the strap for the throwover application. There you go. Okay, the next part is we've got to mount the bag after we take the throw-over straps off. What you're going to want to do is kind of dry fit the bag and get it in a position to where you kind of know where it's going to be. Because what you want to do is you want to slide this mounting bracket so that it's going to be centered with the back of the back for well, ease of mounting, and also centering. Instead of having the bracket more mounted towards the front, it centers it to mount it towards the center of the bag. So dry fitting mine, I've got to have the bracket on. Let me lock it when you do it too. And I've got to have it slid all the way to the back. And that's going to put the mounting bracket pretty much in the center of the bag of our choice of bags. Different bags may have a different point of center, which forces you to move that forwards. So I know mine's all the way back. Now, if you remember, looking at this, we'll readjust it. On the bottom, you've got some screws here. These screws are what is used to tighten those up so they don't slide. So we're going to put it back on the bike now. We're going to lock it, because that's the position it's going to be in when it's on the bike. And then we're going to go up, we're going to slide it to the back, and then I'm going to go up to under the bottom. I'm going to tighten those screws so that it won't move on me. All right, you're going to have help with this. So there's different ways to mount these bags. So you're going to have one person, they're going to hold the bag. And depending on the way you want to look, you're going to have a person over here kind of get in the position on where you've predetermined you want the bag to be. Some people like them high, so it looks kind of like bat wings sticking up. Some people like them to ride lower, like we do, so the bag kind of flows across the back of the fender. We like the style of these bags, so they match the Softail, they match the curve of the fender real well. So we're going to just kind of match that whole fender with the position of the bag. And Margaret's going to take a chalk marker and mark the mount so that we know where to drill our holes once I get the bag somewhat positioned here. All right, go ahead and mark it right there. And basically she's just marking the outline of the bracket, and we'll show you why here in a minute, both front and back. While I'm holding it in place. You got it?
I think so.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so now we're going to take the bracket off. And we can now lay it onto the saddlebag, onto the markings that Margaret made. At that point we can mark our holes with I had to get a different marker, a chalk marker, a purple one. And that's where, at that point, that's where we're going to drill our holes to put our bag on our mounting bracket. I'm going to drill a pilot hole first, and then we'll drill our final hole afterwards. Just don't push too hard, just let the drill do the work. Okay, once you get your pilot holes drilled, I'm going to use a 3/8 inch drill bit to finalize it. There's actually a piece of metal in that part of that one. Okay, then I'm just going to take a utility knife. I'm going to clean that hole up a little bit. This is a fiberglass backing. So it's got these little sharp edges from the drill bit. And I'm just trying to clean those off. All right, so now we're going to take our bolts. They came with some washers. I'm going to put the washers on the inside so it will make a nice seam against that leather that's in there. And then we're just going to put them through our holes that we drilled. All right, you're going to be going in and out of the bag quite a bit, so I'm going to put some painter's tape over the Velcro so that I don't have to keep taking it off the Velcro every time I need to open and close the bag. That way we can close it and open it while we're working on it, and it makes it easier. Okay, now in the back we're going to put one of the washers, the small washer that comes with it, and we're going to put the nut. The nut is flanged, so it does have a lock capability on it, so you don't need Loctite in this application. So reaching inside to kind of hold our bolts from moving around. It's usually easier on this to do the bottom ones first. Because the top ones, it's kind of hard to get your fingers inside. And all I'm doing is pushing in from the inside of the bag, pushing them out so I can get those nuts and washers on there. Okay, now we're going to put a socket on this side. It's a 1/2 inch, and we're going to put a little stubby Phillips head screwdriver on the other side from the inside of the bag to keep the bolt from spinning on us while we tighten them. Okay, and we're going to do that to all 4 bolts. Okay, we got the bracket on the saddlebag, so we can mount it on the bike now. Turn the key to lock it. That locks it in place, you can't take it off, and now we can get a view from the side as well. At this point, unlock the bag. I'm going to go ahead and take my painter's tape off because we know that it's lined up well and we're happy with it, and we're not going to be working on it anymore. We're not going to show doing the second side. It's the exact same process, just in reverse. Okay, so just a final overview. We got the second bag on. So you're going to kind of walk around it here. Let y'all see it all the way around. From the back. Kind of hard to get this side because my bike's in the way. Okay, and just to finalize the video to show you the ease of the quick disconnect system, which we're real happy with. Put your key in, turn it, slide it off, and there's your bag off the bike in just a matter of about 2 seconds. Then that gives you access now to the entire rear end of the bike for cleaning or maintenance purposes. Okay, so that's the whole process, start to finish, of installing Viking bags on a Harley Softail Deluxe. The bags are made for multiple varieties of bikes or any brand, make, and model, with minor modifications to make them fit whatever bike you're putting them on. This was also done using the quick disconnect system to make it easier to get the bags on and off the bike for maintenance and cleaning.